I want to say that Santino has retired from in-ring competition, but I'm hoping the WWE keep his character as a backstage role so we still get the quality comedian character involved with the wrestlers in the WWE universe. So fingers crossed for that. Now, what did we take from the open of Monday Night Raw? The WWE gave Reigns mic time to talk about his three other opponents in the Fatal 4-Way at Battleground, seeming quite confident that he's going to become the new champion, which, to be honest, as much as Reigns is getting all these opportunities to become champion, I think he still needs a few more single competitions before he gets the championship. And with Triple H being a potential opponent, possibly being teased next week or after Battleground, I'm going to say keep teasing this championship win or championship run, but don't make it happen yet. And they go on to tease a potential match with the Monster Kane, even though sadly I can't really call him a monster anymore. With the points that Reigns made about Kane, how he seems to be the Authority's lapdog or Orton's bitch, I feel that is correct because he's not the Monster Kane. He's not the guy who people fear, have to stay away from. The Monster Kane who doesn't need to win, just needs to hurt. But I like how Reigns and Kane really had to go at each other to bring out the officials to separate them. It shows that there's somewhat of a fight from Kane, but then Reigns spears a surprise face of Finlay. I don't get excited people on Twitter, oh, Finlay needs to get his revenge. That was just to show Reigns' ability to fight. When you've got characters like the Wyatt family, I don't see why they could not have gone backstage to hunt down, attack, knock out the Usos to build up next week, or possibly to continue building up towards Battleground / possibly their tag team championship win. Because have the same match week after week after week with a few different spots in. Yes, they may put on a good match, but it's nothing different. It's nothing to possibly spark some interest to build up to the match itself, the big match that we're meant to buy into, care about. We don't want to see it week after week after week. But saying this, I do hope when the Usos actually do lose their championships, possibly to the Wyatts, they do something different. I know the importance is to continue working on Rusev's dominance in matches, but you bring back Rob Van Dam, the king of spots as we saw in Money in the Bank, the guy who's been a risk taker. I just expected more of a longer match to see the old Rob Van Dam to possibly give Rusev a fight, but I think the more important was to continue the dominance, ready for Zeb Coulter and Jack Swagger's challenge to face each other at Battleground, which I'm more than likely going to see Rusev pick up the win. But I still feel with the name like Rob Van Dam, who the WWE brought back, should be doing more than what he is. I know it's still months away yet, but one discussion I've been having with other wrestling fans is, what's the possible Survivor Series match we'll be getting? In one team, we could have the Authority, in the other, a group of faces. But on Raw, the WWE seems to be showing cracks in the Authority as they begin to hate each other. But later in the night on Raw, we find out they could still be on good terms. But then we have Orton versus Dean Ambrose, two different feuds in one match. And it was a good match, I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed this. I felt that Orton getting the win, either man could have won. Orton winning for his team on his own, even though in a backstage segment he was teasing to get Kane to be by his side. And Dean Ambrose could have done with the win, looking strong to be going against Seth Rollins. But either way, I enjoyed the match, and more came from this later in the night. So we had a number one contendership match between Alberto Del Rio and Dolph Ziggler to face the United States champion Sheamus at main event. And as much as I do enjoy the performance of Dolph Ziggler, and I enjoy some of the performances from Alberto Del Rio, the way they had Fandango cause a distraction by dancing on the announce table to give Alberto Del Rio the win, I thought it was ridiculous. Why would Ziggler be distracted by Fandango dancing? Stupidity there. But we're also getting Del Rio versus Sheamus again. Great, because that feud did you justice, didn't it, WWE? And I don't think it's a match that you should be giving us again when you've got the likes of Bo Dallas floating around. You've got, I guess, Fandango if you wanted to throw him in there. You've got Rusev. Just other names that could have done this instead of Del Rio again. With Raw being in Montreal, it gives Jerry Lawler the opportunity to thank doctors and WWE Universe for making it possible for him to come back to Montreal after his heart attack. So that was a nice special moment. Then he brings out Bret Hart, who says he feels the buzz and if he could have one more match he would. And out comes Bret the Hitman Sandheart. The WWE, I'm pretty sure, could go on with all these different characters, all these past wrestlers that Sandow could portray. It might be comical to some of you might like it, but from a Sandow fan, I'd expect so much more from a great mic talker and someone who deserves better. But this only gets worse, as instead of giving Bret Hart a more special moment on Raw, he punches Sandow and leaves. And then it goes worse for Sandow, because he has to then face Sheamus, and we all know Sheamus isn't really going to be the one to bring Sandow back. So Sheamus beats Sandow, ready for Sheamus's match at main event. You know, the only person that dressed up, and I actually found it more comical each time it happened, is this guy. Again, I could go on saying the WWE need to be slapped across the face and look at Sandow in the way they used to, but I don't think they're going to do it. Miz's nickname for now is going to be No Reaction Miz, because the WWE Universe don't seem to be reacting in a positive or a negative way for the Miz's return. But he's backstage reading I'm pretty sure, a Miz written fan letter saying how great he is, admires him, and how he should put Jericho in his place. But when it came to the match between Jericho and The Miz, Jericho picks up the win. And it was a pretty much predictable win. You could say you liked the match, but Jericho was the obvious winner because it was Jericho's returning match, even though it was Miz's too. But it looks like Jericho has the potential to be going forward in feuds while The Miz is just there. Yes, I wanted more from The Miz. I wanted to see the Wyatts interfere in the match to prevent the match ending clean, to give Jericho and Miz a battleground match, and at the same time, because of the interference, you're already teasing a Jericho and Bray Wyatt match for SummerSlam. Or when Jericho came out to attack Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family appeared, why didn't the Usos attack the Wyatts from behind and build up a 3-on-3 match for Battleground? But other than that, I like the concentration of Bray Wyatt's next feud, Jericho coming back straight into a feud, Miz. Instead of talking about the Divas matches we got on Raw, I'm gonna talk about the 4 possible Divas feuds we've been hinted. There's the stupid love triangle where Summer Rae could still be against Layla. We have Paige and AJ. Even though they're tag team partners on Raw, I could still see Paige screwing over AJ to try and get a championship back, possibly at SummerSlam. We have the Bunkerdactyls breaking up, so Cameron will be putting over Naomi or giving Naomi her win out of the 2. And then we have Steph possibly against Brie Bella when Brie Bella returns. I could count Fox, but she's got no real feud in her hands. She's just got that crazy character. So 4 possible Divas feuds. They're all getting concentration. They all seem to be on a weekly basis. How do you feel about that? 4 possible Divas feuds in the WWE right now. I think it's good because you're building up possible group of divas, so they're not just concentrating on the champion and one other wrestler, one other diva. They're concentrating on a little handful. Listen to the words of Paul Heyman. The WWE giving Cesaro mic time is good and all, but he still needs to improve on the mic, especially when he pulls away from Heyman, unless he gets another mouthpiece. But the match between Cesaro and Kofi, I'm quite curious why the WWE gave Kofi yet another win. Maybe it's so at the pay-per-view you can have Cesaro pick up the needed win to regain his win over his recent losses. But then bringing up Big E, so you're combining all the people, or some of the people, sorry, that are involved in the IC Championship Battle Royal into different segments building up to the pay-per-view. It's good, but I'm not sure how I really feel about Cesaro losing to Kofi again. I should be happy that El Torito has moved away from Hornswoggle, now 3MB are no more, but having El Torito against Bo Dallas is not really making me believe in Bo Dallas. It may give us some comedy there, but I'm still wondering who Bo Dallas's first proper feud is going to be against. I used to think Sheamus. Maybe that will happen following Battleground, but not silly matches like this. So Seth Rollins has had a bit of a mixed night. He has Orton, who's starting to hate him, Cena, who thinks Seth's full of crap, and even though he had the backup from Kane and Orton, who makes you think that the Authority are okay with each other, he still has Ambrose jumping on his back. So when you had Kane and Orton coming out to attack Cena to help out Seth Rollins, you then have Reigns come out and clear house. The good spot I liked about this was when Seth Rollins laid out Reigns with the briefcase, laid out Cena, and went to cash in. But obviously, as promised, Ambrose was there to take out Seth Rollins. And I'm quite enjoying the fact that Seth's really going to struggle to cash in. It's going to delay him cashing in, especially with the Brock return or Batista, whoever option B is in your eyes. But that is quite good. But the thing is, even when Seth and Ambrose were fighting away, Kane can't seem to finish a night off. You have Kane looked like he was going to take down John Cena, but Reigns again comes out on top. Reigns and Cena are the last two standing. So we've had a Reigns and Triple H stare off. Nice tease there. I did like that the week before. This week, it's a hand raise between Reigns and Cena. One of them could have laid the other one out, but the two top bases were getting hand raised reactions. The the best thing about it was the WWE should have realised this years ago, but this is another segment which proves it. Fans are cheering the opponent more than Cena. When Cena got his hand raised, boo. When Reigns got his hand raised, there was cheers. Fans are always, or more than likely, always going to pick the other person other than Cena. Maybe it's because of that reason, or maybe it is genuine that fans like Reigns. But I felt it was a nice finish, showing the difference between Cena and Reigns. Going down the other route, we have Kane, who he seemed to struggle. He's definitely not seemed like a threat, so I feel a bit sorry for him, but that's coming from a Kane fan. Orton beat Ambrose early in the night. Ambrose got to take out Seth. Seth got to tease a cash in. So I think the main event was quite successful. I actually liked how Raw finished. What did you guys think of Raw in a whole? Please share all your thoughts in the comment section below. I look forward to what you guys have to say. I look forward to what Santino has to say if he ever gets to speak for the WWE again backstage. Fingers crossed. And please look forward to the evolution of the British Fist coming back later this week.